What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, if we rewind the clock to this time last year, and a couple of months before Deadpool and Wolverine actually dropped in theaters, industry insider Daniel RPK indicated in a scoop for the film that Kevin Feige was so impressed with it that he actually wanted Deadpool and Wolverine to be a huge part of Avengers 5 and Avengers 6. Now, obviously, and back then, they were still working out the script or even getting the Russos on board to film it, so the door was wide open for this to be a possibility. Fast forward to them doing the first round of announcements for the upcoming Avengers Doomsday, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds nowhere to be found. But not so fast, because from the exact same source that brought us the behind-the-scenes set footage for the last couple of weeks, Unbox PhD, there's a link down in the description to both his YouTube and his Twitter account, we now have a brand new set video of the Deadpool and Wolverine set from one specific scene. We're going to go over the video, break down what's in it, we'll also issue the normal spoiler warning, and then talk about the implication for what it might mean for the plot of Avengers Doomsday. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, thanks to everyone who's been subscribing lately. We are growing again at a breakneck pace, and if you haven't already, I just kindly invite you to do so. It's the number one thing you can do to support us here at the channel. Plus, it enters you for all the giveaways. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so first up, and obviously the normal spoiler warning, where I normally tell you guys to take everything with a grain of salt, these behind the scenes and aerial drone shots of the set of Avengers Doomsday are much different. If you don't want to see this stuff, I totally understand. Now is your chance to back out. Just know you're going to have to do a hell of a job dodging this on social media. I feel for you. It might be time to just basically unplug for the next 2 years. In the meantime, we are going to dive into this video. You've been forewarned, and again, this comes from the source Unbox PhD. There's a link down in the description to his YouTube video. You can clearly see here and from an aerial shot that they are working on the set of Deadpool and Wolverine, and from the specific scene towards the end of the film where Deadpool and Wolverine face off against the Deadpool Corps. And just in case there is any question about where this is, here are the exact same shots from the trailer on that set. So we know that Deadpool and Wolverine are in Avengers Doomsday, but this is a very interesting scene to choose. Late last night we heard we were going to get video of this morning, and I had to admit the first two sets I thought of was either the inside of the TVA headquarters or obviously the Void set with the Fox sign set outside, also because we had heard from industry insiders like Daniel RPK that we would be introduced into Battleworld during Deadpool and Wolverine, but really what we saw was the Void, and since then a lot of theorists in our little corner of YouTube have said that possibly those may become one and the same, as Doom basically kills every timeline and reassembles whatever's left in the Void at the end of time. Now, I'm not sure that that theory still holds water or that they need to get there, but this is super interesting that they're going to the Deadpool and Wolverine scene where there happens to be a whole Deadpool Corps. Now, to be fair and to cover all bases, there are some other players in this scene. First of which is Cassandra Nova. She's present for at least a little bit of it before she takes off with machinations of ruining all of reality, and there's also the Deadpool Corps. Now look, it could be that someone's just stopping off across the multiverse like the Council of Reeds and or perhaps America Chavez to recruit Deadpool and Wolverine to fight against Dr. Doom. But for tangent's sake, it could be that either Dr. Doom needs to get through Cassandra Nova as one of the last most powerful threats in the multiverse that could stand between him and utter domination, or maybe even looking to recruit her, as we've heard oftentimes in theories and quote-unquote plot leaks that Doom is going to come with a team of baddies to face off against the Avengers. But let's just be realistic. Marvel Studios does not have time to double back on Cassandra Nova and during this film. I don't even know how they're going to have time to get through the characters they've already announced, let alone once they double or even triple that cast. Now, I think it could be a little bit more fair to argue that perhaps Deadpool and Wolverine want to lead the entire Deadpool Corps against Doom, and as much as I'd love to see that, I also think that's pretty unlikely. Most likely the case, you've got the Fantastic Four and the Council of Reeds, who have figured out how to travel the multiverse by the end of Fantastic Four, or someone like America Chavez, who is able to reach out to these specific characters, keeping in mind that Wolverine is at least an anchor being originally in the 10,005, and that this Wolverine was able to replace him as such, that they're going through recruiting perhaps anchor beings or heroes they need to fight against Doom. And I don't think there was ever a shot, though, that Deadpool and Wolverine weren't going to be in this, so I really don't consider this a spoiler at all. It's the location that's more interesting than the characters coming back, because let's face it, if you're the Russos, you did Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, and having Hugh Jackman's Wolverine was the biggest, craziest dream you could have had back then. You're coming back to do it all over. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is on the table, and you can't imagine that he was probably one of the very first names and actors they pinned up and said, yep, make this work. It's absolutely incredible that we're finally getting this in the MCU, and I gotta be honest, as a guy who is literally just a fan first before I did this channel, I am starting to feel that indelible excitement well up inside of me, because as long as they keep it fun and do this right, it's going to be an awesome movie, and there's really no reason to believe they won't. Remember, Infinity War and Avengers Endgame had some really strong armor in that where the Russos could have stubbed their toe trying to explain things like how Tony actually figured out time travel or how he built the Infinity Gauntlet, they just skipped over them. They let our imagination fill in the blanks where, again, they could have gotten bogged down in these scenes that weren't necessary. Keeping the plot going and keeping it fun and keeping the action going requires the audience to keep up, but the Russos did that once already, and so for a film that is going to be utterly complicated just by the sheer number of people who are involved, again, I don't think you can go starting to look for other villains like Cassandra Nova and try to add them in the mix. We've got a lot of characters right in front of us. Deadpool and Wolverine coming to be a part of it, however they are obtained across the multiverse, yes, of course. The other implications of this specific scene, maybe not so much, although I will say, just the idea of the Deadpool core going against Doom and getting mowed over, it seems pretty awesome, but what does that really prove? Because they got mowed over by Deadpool and Wolverine themselves. Now, guys, let me know all your thoughts down below about this. If I missed anything in my analysis here, if you can think of a bigger implication for what this scene might be for Avengers Doomsday other than, you know, Fantastic Four, America Chavez, or the like dropping in and, you know, grabbing them for a multiversal fight against Doom, let me know. I'm all ears as always. Literally, this got released and I covered it as fast as possible. Maybe there is an angle I'm not seeing here. Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, let's jump into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we are still giving away PlayStation 5s at the channel. We just announced a new round of winners. The next giveaway is coming up with Ironheart and then Thunderbolts before that and Fantastic Four afterwards. So 3 PlayStations in the next 2 or 3 months. If you want to be entered to win for any of the other giveaways at the channel, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos the same way we're doing here, live with my voice in the winning comments shown on screen, so please be safe and vigilant on my channel, really anywhere on YouTube that does giveaways. Remember that anybody can claim to be a content creator and steal their photo. No one's ever going to spam you in the comments. No one's ever going to charge you for shipping. If you should get spam comments like that, just report them directly to YouTube. YouTube is very swift about deleting those accounts. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on, and as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can find me on all other platforms under the name AllFires, and while I would sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around, we'll be posting again real soon.